can say definitively that religions are all bullshit.
Welcome to Brainstorm.
We have the explicit tag for a reason.
This is a base level argument to a higher level morality.
I get paid to science?
Two science as much as one can science.
What the hell was my point?
Trigger warning. The Brainstorm podcast will criticize your most cherished beliefs. We attack nonsense in all its forms and discuss difficult subjects. If you peddle pseudoscience, supernatural woo, or religious dogma, then this is not your safe place. This is the home of hardcore skepticism.
All right, to those listening live or to our patrons, welcome back. For those listening weekly, welcome to the Shift to Reason Radio, the Brainstorm production that tries to educate and inform. We'll take current events and important skeptical topics and try to analyze them critically. Remember that we're live on Spreaker.com every second Friday, and today is July 7th, 2017. I'm still joined by Angela.
Hello.
Renee.
Hello.
Destin.
It's a great show. It's fantastic. It's
Leo.
Perfect show.
Hey there.
Amazing show. We're going to do great.
And the amazing Dave.
I'll be more amazing this time.
Lots of people
Sounds
listen. They
good.
think it's a great show.
Huge.
All right.
Huge
We have
show.
the best
It's great.
podcast.
Best
So-
podcast.
So many words.
Tremendous.
The
Good
most
words.
listeners.
The best words.
Podcast with the most listeners. You wouldn't believe the number of
Millions.
listeners. Not Russians.
China.
It's like the real Trump. I want to shut you up right now.
Okay, before we get into anything else, we didn't quite get this in the first half, but we'll cover this now, I guess. The book Inferior, Vice.com covered this book, and it's a book about how science, again, is not getting things right when it comes to women.
It's really interesting. I've only gotten through the first few pages. I don't have a ton of knowledge on it, but I read
Are we going to get a full report? Full book report?
we can if you want.
Sweet.
Next podcast, I
Awesome.
can read it. But they just
You can read a whole book in 2
Tune
weeks.
in.
I
Who has time to read a whole book?
probably could actually.
What is that, like
She's a good writer.
160 pages?
Do you not read news? Like, who's got time for a book?
I don't want to admit the number of books I have in my library currently that I have not read. 183 pages.
Oh, I was way off.
You were 20 pages off. I am on page 5 right now.
Perfect.
It's interesting, and it kind of ties into the whole why are women seeking homeopathy, naturopathy. Just because, and it's interesting to me, just like we were talking about at supper time, talking about transgendered people entering sports in the gender that they identify as, and
Right.
and those kind of things. And I think it's interesting to me. Like the introduction of this book talks about how few women there are involved in science, and how it talks about women are less likely to get these jobs, like certain jobs, because men, at the time when women are having children and staying at home and taking maternity leave and stuff like that, men are working their asses off and getting promotions and stuff like that. So it's really interesting, and I'm interested to see how it all plays out. This woman is she's a decorated journalist. She's a former Knight Science Journalism Fellow at MIT. Angela Saini is her name.
Okay.
And she won the American Association for Advancement of Science's Kavli Science Journalism Gold Award in 2015. That's a long award, and it sounds like it's fancy.
So when you said she was talking at the beginning about women not getting these jobs because some of them were, taking mat leave, staying home, having the kids, and the men were working their asses off to get promotions to support the family, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's not it's not written in an accusational tone, just as this is the way it is tone.
It's
From what
not.
you've read so
It's
far?
not really like she's kind of setting the stage a little bit.
Okay.
I think she talks about. Let me just see here.
I know you're in depth in the book.
Yeah, totally. A couple of years after I graduated from university in January 2005, the president of Harvard University, economist Lawrence Summers, gave voice to one controversial explanation for the gap in why women don't stick with science. At a private conference, he suggested that the unfortunate truth behind why there are so few top women scientists at elite universities might in some part have to do with issues of intrinsic aptitude. That a biological difference exists between women and men.
Girls just suck at science.
Yeah. A few academics defended him, but by and large,
That's
Summers
not nice, Corey.
was met with
I wish you would change that attitude.
he
You're
was
such a dick.
reframing. Yeah, Corey's the dick.
I appreciate your criticism, Gumby, and I will take that into consideration in the future.
Wow.
It's everybody's criticism.
Well, I
Wow.
appreciate that criticism.
So he goes on to say, but there have always been gently whispered doubts. Summers may have dared to say it, but how many people haven't thought the same? There might be an innate, essential difference between the sexes that sets us apart. That the female brain is fundamentally distinct from the male brain, explaining why we see so few women in the top jobs in science. That hushed uncertainty is what lies at the heart of this book.
Also, it's an issue with math and business, right?
Yeah.
Women are not as good at it.
No, we suck at math.
And sports
We
and
suck at business.
I don't know if
And-
the sarcasm is coming across properly.
There's a question mark hanging over us, she says, raising the possibility
people
that
in the
women
room,
are
it probably is.
destined never to achieve parity with men because our bodies and our minds are simply not capable of it.
You're weak.
My uterus and my tits,
They wrecked the brain.
they
Yeah.
wrecked my brain.
And all the hormones.
And all the
So-
hormones.
so-
all of the fucking hormones.
We had an article that kind of went along with this as well. So
Yes.
what did we get out of the article in relation to this? Like, is she kind of just examining what is going on, or is she using, I don't know, is she using some kind of, I have no idea where I'm going with that.
You were trying to come up with something.
I was trying to come up with something worthy to say, and
Just
yeah.
hit that
She's-
wall.
Yep, that's right.
So she's talking about lots of things.
You're an ass.
I do actually find it funny.
Oh man, it's wordplay. Wordplay. So Saney argues that science has achieved this weird status in our society as the sole repository of impartial, accurate truths. We lay people cannot understand the mysteries of science of men in white coats and those big spinny metal cylinders they use to separate matter in labs. So we just say things like, "What are you, a rocket scientist?" Ha ha ha, when we want to convey that someone is more important, intelligent, and in full apprehension of the facts. Unsurprisingly, it's usually scientists who self-perpetuate this myth of science as infallible. After all, it helps justify their untouchable status in society, a status as exalted as the one Bill Cosby enjoyed until relatively recently.
Scientists don't have an exalted position in society. They're ridiculed and mocked by almost everybody.
To some degree.
Except for other
To some
scientists.
degree, but those of us in the skeptic community, I think we hold science to a very high standard. I think it's interesting. What she says. She talks about how historically women have been consistently excluded from the scientific community. Because, for example, Marie Curie was rejected from the French Academy.
Right, yeah. There
Science.
has been, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine.
There has been a long history of women contributing to science but not getting credit for it.
Yes.
Thanks for mansplaining that. To,
No,
I was actually going to make that joke.
Yeah, that's great. But like they do a segment every week on Skeptic's Guide to the Universe where they quite often it's women and not men.
You're wrecking our joke.
Yeah, well,
Well, even Darwin, who was
Horrible sexist.
as fixed in his misogyny as those fossils he loved to study so much, he famously argued that women were less evolved than men.
although was he not a product of his time as well?
He absolutely was. That's right.
Not that excuses being shitty.
Yeah.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait. He could have been saying that women are less evolved because they reached perfection sooner.
He could have, but I don't think that's
what he meant.
I don't think that's what he meant.
what
It could be interpreted.
Yeah. Well, uterus and tits, right?
I mean,
done.
what more do you need?
Perfection.
I got them both.
Win.
Bye. Yeah. See ya.
If they didn't need sperm, they could just go without us.
They're working on it.
Exactly.
That was a very evil laugh.
Is there a
Nice.
secret cabal or something? We should know.
That's only the beginning of my evil laugh. / I know stuff, you guys. Yes.
Great. Now all I got that is that bad joke in my head. You know, why do women need men? Because vibrators can't mow the lawn.
But as technology progresses,
Oh yes. Yes.
Lawn mowing vibrator.
lawnmower vibrator. Why not?
Yeah.
Right on lawnmower.
Yeah. I was just thinking about riding lawnmower.
What's that thing
joke.
shaped like a saddle?
Yeah. I'm sure there can be all kinds of incorporations.
Stirrups and
It's got a very interesting mental picture there.
Mom's been mowing the grass all week. It is looking immaculate.
we don't even have a lawn. Oh, she's been mowing the neighbor's yard again.
What have you been doing to the grass?
Mowing the parking lot.
Just a leaf blower.
And where's that paper, Gumby?
And there we are for the tracks.
All right,
Yes.
you were saying.
She just talks about how the fact that we're weaker is false. She argues that women also have strength, and thinking about women as the weaker sex is wrong. They're biologically better survivors from the moment they're born. They have stronger immune systems and are protected from certain genetic conditions that only affect men. Explaining partly why women live so much longer. She also challenges the whole idea of men as hunter-gatherers, undertaking the bulk of physical exertion, and women as domestic caregivers. It's just an idea, a social construct we've imposed on ourselves, but the reality, both historically and in developing countries around the world, is very different. Women all over the world work as hard as men do. Women do really hard, back-breaking labor every single day. I'm from India, and when you travel back there, you see women are doing the exact same amount of labor, if not more.
Be.
Yeah.
And she struck speechless.
She's just going to kick his ass
Like,
now.
just like my 5-year-old interrupting me. I'm going to lose my train of fucking thought. But, yeah, it's just our society's more enlightened, and we're getting a different portrait. And she wants to see that equality isn't just a political ideal, that we're just as biologically capable as we are otherwise.
Cool.
I mean, prime example is think about how much resistance there was prior to Ronda Rousey in the UFC.
Right.
You know, there was a lot of pushback against having a women's division in the UFC.
Yeah.
And, well, then she came in and made a lot of money.
And it's
Yeah.
really successful. So,
The whole idea of women being less intelligent genetically. Well, measure intelligence. Like, I know some men that are really fucking stupid.
Well, and also
Like,
it's not just
where's the
plain old
difference?
Yeah.
intelligence, like rote memory or whatever. It's also emotional intelligence and social intelligence too. Like those are important aspects.
yeah.
Well, I think when we're talking, because we're talking women in science, right? Mm-hmm. So it'd be a little less of the emotional science for most of that.
Yeah, probably. But I think that there's an inherent problem with the idea of intelligence as a measurement.
Well,
right?
sure.
So I mean, the way that women are treated in culture can affect the way that they behave in some ways, or do well on tests or what have you. Like, and some people just don't test well. Like, and it's so convoluted. I don't really like the idea of an intelligence test that.
And it's not I think it's less about testing intelligence. It's more about the potential for intelligence, because you could say certain minority groups, they're less intelligent. But then if you look at, well, maybe our school systems are designed for a specific demographic in our society, that these are the people that go to college, and then these are the people that don't. Mm-hmm. And so then at that point, the testing is not even relevant, because people have unequal opportunity in the first place, at which point whichever test you use is not
essentially meaningless.
Yeah, it's essentially meaningless because you're not actually dealing with the problem of the potential of the person.
The other thing too, it doesn't just address women in science, but it also addresses how science looks at women.
Right.
That's the main issue. But one really thought-provoking point that comes up at the end of the Vice article is about how women go through menopause and continue to thrive afterwards and live longer lives than men. It's suggested that it's not because they're ugly and unattractive, it's because we need them. And she goes on to say it's the grandmother hypothesis, which is that older women are invaluable not only in terms of helping with child rearing, but their wisdom, the work they do in their communities. They are living proof of why we need women, which is an interesting hypothesis. Ugh, that was hard to say. Hypothesis.
Yeah.
And old dudes only yell at people on their lawn.
I know. What a bunch of jackasses.
Yes.
Wait till they get that new lawnmower.
Fucking kids, get out of here. Got some popsicles in my freezer in the basement.
Yeah.
Want a popsicle?
Mm-hmm. So I'll finish reading the book and I'll let you know.
Perfect.
All right, go.
Yeah, you'll interrupt
All right.
me several times.
So we're going to do some stupid tweets.
Yay.
Yeah.
All tweets are stupid.
All right.
Stupid tweets. Stupid.
So our first tweet
Tweet.
is from Tara McCarthy.
Oh, that's stupid.
And she tweeted, it's a poll. Considering what
Like
we
Polish? I think that's...
No, not.
I don't think they like
it's
that.
a poll, as in a survey of.
Oh, okay.
Considering that what we call races are in fact subspecies, is race mixing borderline bestiality?
God damn it!
Yes or no? Well,
sex is bestiality.
That's not even a real question. Like, yes or no are not the options to that.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's those two ideas have nothing in common, but sex is bestiality. Period.
Well,
wait. What?
Well, because we're animals.
So and really, if you want to look at it,
song.
Different races are subspecies of a species. There's no master species. There's just subspecies.
Right. So,
right.
All species are subspecies.
Yes. No,
but
all
I don't think that's
subspecies are
quite
part
how
of the
that
species.
works.
We're all human, but there's an argument whether there's 3 or 4 actual human species, right? Human subspecies.
The thing is doesn't that work? Like, if they're truly separate species, you can't.
Yeah,
they're genetically incompatible, so they can't breed.
Yeah.
So
that's why subspecies like wolves and poodles are subspecies of canines.
Yeah, but a wolf and a poodle.
Yeah, that's either one hung poodle or one dead poodle.
That's not quite what subspecies means, as far as I can recall. Though subspecies is like, she's also got another tweet here where she shows a bunch of different tigers. And she says, here are 5 different protected tiger subspecies. And then expect they all look the same, essentially. But then she says, tell me human races aren't subspecies. But genetic difference between human races is not really there. There isn't any real difference between human races in genetically. So there is no categorization that would come from that minor difference. So there would be no subspecies in any sense. Like, we are all the same species. We're a subspecies of ape is what we are. So essentially, like, it's just trying to find an excuse for racism is what this is.
It's called using science for stupidity, but yet not really understanding the science they're trying to use.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, essentially. That's at Tara McCarthy _14. She's a relatively high profile racist. Like, she's followed by quite a few people and is
Makes me sad.
I've got another one. This is from Dave Cullen at Dave Cullen CF, and he's standing outside of a bathroom. It's an image of him standing outside of a bathroom with a male, female, and a child image in the picture, as well as a wheelchair. And underneath it says all genders. And this guy he's got this picture of himself looking at the sign as though he's confused. And the tweet says, firstly, why California? Just why? Secondly, I'm confused by this picture. Are children and disabled people now classified as genders? Because that's what it says, right? Like that, like, it just doesn't understand the sign in any sense. Like,
I think that's
this is a family washroom.
Yeah, that's see, stuff like this.
This is just stupid.
I don't see it as stupid. I see it as the downfall of the intellect or intelligence of our entire race.
Well, yeah, it really is, isn't it? Like,
he's the reason why you have to have warning signs on shit.
Yeah, that's why your coffee says hot.
Yeah.
It's like,
your electric lawnmower says don't operate when it's wet outside. You know, like,
yeah.
Like,
you shouldn't use your tongue to stop a fan.
Those damn lawnmowers.
I won't be able to say lawnmower for the next week without a
electric lawnmower.
Yeah. I like how you said that the lawnmower wasn't supposed to be used when it's wet outside. So
yeah, bad.
What if it's wet inside?
Bad phrasing.
You'll have trouble with hormones forever too.
Yeah.
Shit. And we have one more tweet this week, and it comes from our good friend Donald Trump.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Everybody knows which tweet I'm talking about. The CNN wrestling video.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Which has been lots of uproar about online lately. Because CNN found the guy who created it or whatever. And frankly, I don't care. But the tweet itself coming from the president of the United States is so low class. Like, I just can't imagine this is the person leading the United States.
Yeah. Wow.
Are you going to read it?
Well, it's not a tweet to read. It's a video.
Oh,
it's a clip.
Read that video, Corey.
I actually don't.
You
know
haven't seen it. Oh no, it's an image of him when he was in WWF, and and CNN is this person that he totally body slams and tackles.
Yeah, because Trump is totally beating the shit out of CNN.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he really thinks he's king shit, right? Like,
yeah. It's all fake news. Fake news.
I think he might be king shit.
The funny thing about that CNN thing is how stupid CNN was about it. That's the only thing I'm going to say. They were just dumb.
Yeah.
In the way they handled it.
Well, they didn't do it well, yeah. But I just can't imagine that this is can you imagine Barack Obama doing this, or even George W. Bush doing something like this? Like, it's just not the only way that makes any sense.
Obama doing something like this would have been where he's making fun of himself at that press annual press.
Thanks, Obama.
Yeah.
The White House Correspondents' Dinner?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, where it's like, there was the birther thing where, and then he's like,
Right.
I found footage of my birth, and he put a clip from Lion King. Like he played with it. Whereas Trump thinks this is damn straight.
Yeah.
But he's just such a fucking idiot. Like
I like when Obama asked Trump for his birth certificate and his taxes.
Yes.
I mean, Bill Maher got sued by Trump because he made a joke.
Yeah.
Because he's like, prove that your father wasn't an orange orangutan from the New York Zoo.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got sued. And even Obama said, you know what, you're gonna insult me every day, blah blah blah, but I'm gonna defend your right to do so.
Whereas Trump doesn't give a shit. He would in his head, I'm the president. I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm rich. I can do whatever the fuck I want. If these guys are talking bad shit about me, I want them bought out and they're fake news and get rid of them.
Right.
They can only say good things about me.
Hello, McFly.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, Biff.
It's just typical insecurity. I mean, you have to squash the haters.
Yeah.
You just can't handle negative stuff.
My thought seeing that video was like, this is a cry for attention. Like, if this was anybody that the world wasn't already watching, this would be an attempt to get attention, right?
Yeah.
But he's the most powerful ass puppet in the world.
He is
ass puppet.
always looking for attention, though. That's all it is. It's always, the world can be staring at him, every single person, and he's just
But he has to be loved.
Yeah.
Did you listen to any of Naomi Klein's interview about talking about him as though he were a brand?
It doesn't ring a bell.
She wrote the book Catch-22. She's all about like marketing stuff, and she talks about how Trump is just a brand with his steaks and his wine and his this and his that.
Failed brands.
Yeah.
And he that's another thing I didn't mention when we were in,
Because the product doesn't matter.
we briefly went to Trump Tower in Vancouver and gave the finger to the Trump Tower.
Nice. Nicely done.
Did you hear that they're taking the name off the Trump Tower in Toronto?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not actually owned by Trump, like the tower. But,
Well, because it was just a mess. Someone else bought into it, and they're like, "Get that fucking ugly thing off that building." If I had to pay this much money for it, get that fucking name off the building.
Nice.
Yeah. They actually had the Trump Tower, the Trump name covered during the election, and then after he won, they took it off. It was covered for some reason. They didn't want to reveal it. But speaking of Trump, but the Naomi Klein interview is interesting because she talks about him as a brand, and that's his focus. He thinks of himself in terms of being a brand, and she also talked about, I don't remember specifics, but just how a person could take him down through his brand, because he's very obsessed with how he's perceived. And that's why he gets so obsessive on Twitter and hates his haters all the time. So, interesting stuff.
Cool. All right. That's enough dumb tweets.
Sweet.
Let's go to some Woo Report.
I'm not a scientist, but if I can tell you your science sucks, then your science really sucks.
That just makes no fucking sense. I mean, it's just bullshit. Fuck.
All right, Rene, what do you got for us?
I was going to wait for the page to load because I forgot to make notes about it. But anyway, apparently there are a group of professional witches out there that you can contact that'll help you, through spells, become rich.
Neat.
Well, the caveat is richer.
Richer?
Yeah, because apparently they don't have one spell. It's not like, here's the spell of instant lottery summoning or something. I have no idea what the hell he's doing over there.
He's just a weirdo.
It's a bit of a reach.
No. We don't need a conspiracy theory.
It's a bit of a reach.
Yeah.
Illuminati.
Illuminati. Yeah.
If you put MP the exact right distance away
from Trump,
From Trump.
or from Trudeau,
From
and then
Trudeau.
fold it, it turns into Trump.
But only if you put it the right distance.
And the only way it's connected, I'm not even going to go there. But anyway, so at any rate,
Beaver and an eagle, man. All you need is a bear.
Is that they
on a
basically
bearskin rug.
Great. I can't even focus on this stupid fucking story because you're just such a fucking distraction.
Witches.
Anyway, witches. They have the spells, but apparently they don't work quite as effectively. They don't say they don't have this spell to do. If you do this, you're going to get instantly wealthy. The thing I got out of this is reading it is it's a lot like prayer. Actually, is that.
Surprise.
Okay, you can do this. Yeah, surprise. Do this, but, you have to... What was it, the one thing? There's a spell where you have to... Here's the spell, but you have to act as if you don't need the money to get the money. And, you can't go for a big windfall of money. You can do this spell and get a pay raise.
If you do this spell and work really, really hard at your job and work overtime, you'll make more money.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You'll find 26 cents in the couch.
Yeah.
Do the spell. Approach your boss after you do months and months of rigorous work.
But keep the magical penny in your pocket, and you'll get a raise.
I'm seeing an ad on that screen there. Free newborn baby samples.
I would love a sample of a newborn baby.
Yeah. It's all about phrasing. And apparently you can
title.
Good eye.
I'm not even sure how you could phrase that to not make it sound like shit.
I just want to try it out. See
Sign up
think.
today.
Okay.
Sprinkle it on a salad, maybe.
How
it wasn't
supposed to be
me.
phrased?
I have no idea. It's free newborn baby samples directly to you. Sign up today. That's just 10 times funnier than spells that make you richer by these so-called professional witches.
The simple-minded.
Sign up, see what you get.
You're never going to hear the end of it. Don't do it.
No, that's right.
Do it.
I'll get spammed with brand new baby samples forever.
Babies. We're sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh,
This train has not only just
One
jumped
listener.
the tracks.
Baby
Sorry, one
spam.
listener.
I think this train has jumped the track and just destroyed 3 towns.
It's just falling down the mountain right now.
Oh, this is an American oil train.
Oh, shit.
So they have spells to make you make money.
But it only kind of sort of
They
works.
kind of solar. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
As in, it doesn't work.
Yeah, as in it doesn't work. And then the other thing
There
they
goes that
mentioned
plan.
they also
Sell
mentioned
babies.
is the obvious question is if they have spells to make them rich, why are these witches not rich? Fuck, that's too many words that almost rhyme. But
Which witch is a rich witch?
yeah, which witch is
Are
which
you
witch?
writing a
That's
Dr.
rich.
Seuss book
Yeah,
posthumously?
yeah.
He's speaking through you, isn't he?
Yeah, yes.
If every witch is a
Rich witch.
rich witch. Nice.
Which bitch gets rich first?
It's a tongue twister.
I got a pitch from a rich witch telling me how to get
And
rich.
so apparently it
They
has
said
to
the
do
market's
with,
an ish.
Throw it into the ditch.
Oh, this episode.
We're so sorry.
At this point, I'm going to say, fuck it. The spells don't work. Next.
Next.
So they don't go off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
How about we take 5 seconds?
Let's take more than 5 seconds for a quick ad break and catch ourselves a little bit, and then we'll get into some more stuff.
If you like what we're doing and want to help us keep the lights on, go become a patron at patreon.com/brainstorm podcast. You can hear the bonus half hour that we record every episode and get a shout out when you support the show. Become a patron for just $1 an episode at patreon.com/brainstorm podcast. Or you can support the show by ordering a t-shirt, mug or other gear from our store at caffeepress.ca/brainstorm podcast gear. If you can't afford to become a patron or buy gear, then why not give us a rating or write a review on iTunes or Stitcher? Every rating makes it easier for people to find us. Thanks for your support.
We are given one life, full of billions of small and large decisions. To be somebody, to change, to be kind, to give hope, to become a better person, and to leave a lasting impact on this planet. It is a decision to be made every single day while your heart is still beating. We've made our decision. Absence of clothing, atheist and science-based apparel and merchandise, donating 50% of our profits to charity. Look good and feel good, without God. Check us out at absenceofclothing.com and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest for discount codes and other sweet swag.
Use the code BRAINSTORM at absenceofclothing.com and get 10% off.
Hi, my name's Callie.
And I'm Ari.
If you're like most of us, you're very concerned about the gay agenda's plans for world domination.
Are you tired of seeing glitter all over every damn thing?
Do you hate rainbows as much as any other red-blooded American?
Then we have the answer for all your baseless fears and unjustified paranoia.
Presented exclusively on Secular Media Network, the Gaytheist Manifesto is your source for news, commentary, discussion, and debate at the intersection of the atheist movement and the LGBT rights movement.
You can find us on Spreaker, iTunes, and at gaytheistmanifesto.secularmediagroup.com.
If you're not ready to get in line for your mandatory gay marriage and you're terrified of short-haired women in pantsuits, come have a listen and get up to date on their plans. You'll be glad you did.
All right, we're back. So I'm going to skip my story this evening because it's going to take way too long. But Leo's got a thing.
He's not prepared is what he's saying.
I got 3 pages of notes. It's too long.
So we have a story from the U.S.'s favorite angry dumbass, Alex Jones.
I was going to say that does narrow it down.
For a second there, I wasn't sure you were talking about.
But yeah, so apparently Alex Jones talked to some air quotes expert who claims that NASA has a slave colony on Mars.
Right.
As from what I understand, it was a 20-year trip or something. I don't know what that means. Is that if they stay for 20 years or if it takes 20 years to get to Mars? It wasn't very clear, but it's like said 20-year trip. But either way, it's stupid.
Yeah.
But so yeah,
it's not a 20-year trip. Those people are not coming back.
Yeah. But yeah, so apparently they sent a bunch of children to Mars who would have no other choice but to
die,
to work until they're dead, and I'm guessing procreate.
How's that different from here?
And make more slaves?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
They're making Martian iPhones?
So it's
They're making clothes.
Yeah,
our clothes aren't from Bangladesh; they're actually from Mars.
I hear the materials are cheap. Up there.
the only thing they were sent with was netting and bad lighting.
But so
they sew it all by hand.
So this story, when I first read it, it's like one of those things where you just shake your head and like, oh, for fuck's sakes, where like this is not even something that anybody should believe, and nobody should even try to get anybody to believe it. But it just made me think of how the news media has changed, like where somebody like this actually gets somewhat of like legitimate coverage for the shit that he says.
Yeah.
And it's like it used to be where as much as people always bash the monopoly of the media and the news, like where, well, we only had one TV station, that's where we got all our news from. Like when you nowadays, I actually think about it, and that might not be that bad of an idea if you have a huge corporate monopoly where they have a lot at stake. Like they can't just go ahead and report like absolute shit with no sources because they'll get discredited and lose legitimacy. But nowadays, it's kind of it's just they have nothing to lose. You can't follow the money of who owns it, and you can't kind of control for that bias.
I think the difference here is there's always been this crazy shit. There's always been this kind of crazy shit. You know, space aliens are coming down, probing hillbillies, and coming and taking your daughters and whatever the fuck else shit there.
It's just the soapbox is now digital.
And it's easier. Where it used to be just a few hundred pamphlets got handed out, now it's on the internet and easily accessible by millions of people.
And that's what I mean. Like, so there used to be a monopoly on, and there still is a kind of on like radio and television.
Oh, right.
You were either a huge company that could afford to own a TV or radio station, or you didn't get heard. Like, so like you couldn't be some schmo who just like, oh, I'm going to start a radio show. So, and it's kind of like we have, back in the day it was one big soda company made all the lemonade, and now we take our advice from sidewalk lemonade stands, kind of thing.
It's a little bit of careful what you wish for,
right?
Man, if I could just, if I could run my own radio station, and now everyone can,
and we are an example of that. Like we
right.
Yeah, nobody should listen to us or take what we say seriously.
No.
Yes, we are an example of independent media. Yes.
That's it, but it kind of made me think that actually I've grown. I used to hate CNN very, very much.
Right.
But in the last couple of years, 2 or 3 years, I've actually like CBC and CNN, not the worst thing. They kind of have their bias and they kind of report on some shit that's like totally irrelevant. But they at least keep it close to the truth for the most part. But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, it's
that's all I have to say about that.
Because there is actually no story, right, to the Mars slave colony thing. Like the fact that this was covered by anybody is absolutely ridiculous.
We're at least 8 years away from having a slave colony on Mars.
At least 8 years.
And I read a different article somewhere else, but that NASA said we welcome an independent probe being sent to Mars. Basically,
right?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure if it was the official spokesperson.
Picture it didn't happen.
By all means, investigate. Go check it out.
But yeah, so these kind of stories, like they come up every day where it's just you just want to crawl into a hole.
Or did NASA mean, you can't prove it. You have no way of knowing that we have our colony.
Well,
it's on the other side.
Yeah. Well, Alex Jones said in the interview, like, I know a lot of the, engineers from NASA, and they say there's so much going on, and it's very top secret, but just like super vague things of, I know a guy who knows a guy who said it's very complicated.
He doesn't know anybody.
No.
He's a fucking liar.
There's not that much stuff that's top secret at NASA. Most of it's public record.
But except for the slave colony, that's top secret.
That's top
it's
secret.
so top secret that nobody knows about it.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking Alex Jones. What a guy. This is a person who influences the president of the United States.
Man, InfoWars, totally legit. All legit, all that stuff.
Totally
My neighbor
legit.
thinks so.
Yeah, I saw the bumper sticker.
Yeah.
I hope your neighbor listens to this podcast.
That would be great.
Yeah. You're an idiot. I haven't met you. You have an InfoWars
You have an
bumper
InfoWars sticker on your fucking
you're not supposed to prejudge people, but
I think that's fair.
I think we're allowed to in this
that's
case.
fair.
This is acceptable.
All right, let's do.
And your address is
what the fuck?
Fucking what the fucking fuck? Who the fuck? Fuck this fucking. How did you do fucking fucks? Fuck!
Well, it certainly illustrates the diversity of the word.
I love that bumper.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Fake Irish accents. Is it my turn?
It is your turn, Angela.
I have a story, you guys. There's a thing called knife massages.
Yes, I saw that. That looked cool.
And,
did it look cool? Or did it look, what the fuck is going on here?
I was just going to say, I would give my steaks a knife massage or something when I chop them up, but I wouldn't put that on me.
People are actually like paying other people to
People pay for a lot of stupid shit.
do this with knives on their back and on their face.
And on their face.
They're blunt knives, but they still use a cloth to cover just in case, a little bit too much force.
I wonder, like, why blunt knives? Why any knives? If you're gonna if you're gonna go with blunt knives.
The thing is, what I read on it, not that I read very thoroughly,
increases the circulation.
Well, it
tenderizes you.
Why don't they just roll them around in flour and get out the real meat tenderizer?
No, I was going to say that you do something
Right before they cover you in panko and throw you in a deep fryer. Yes. But apparently this has been done for several thousand years. It
ancient
dates
Chinese
back
secret.
to 770 BC and 476 BC. In and around there, they first mentioned that they did this.
Is that right?
Of course, it has to do with energy.
Yeah.
Transfer of energy, positive energy fields.
Back then, those suffering from mysterious illnesses not easily treated by traditional medicine would ask Buddhist monks to ease their afflictions with knife therapy.
How long ago?
Like in 770 BC.
Okay, so in 770 BC, they had traditional medicine and this was still alternative then.
Yes.
Mysterious. This was too bad shit.
Yes.
It's ancient woo.
It fell out of favor in mainland China, but spread to Japan and Taiwan, and then declined in popularity there too. So there's been an organization that has been working for 20 years to restore the practice. She says that there's more than 180 centers that do this in Taiwan.
See, and this is what I was getting at. Like, how hard is it to find one of these things that nobody's doing that's all ancient bullshit, bring it back, and fucking capitalize on it?
Yep.
It's not hard at all, apparently.
Bring back the fucking leeches. Come on.
Yeah, well, and it's knife massage. You can get fucking sponsors.
So
the Woostorf Clinic.
Did you cover knife massages in your class?
No.
You just did knife fighting?
No.
Okay.
It was a lot of how to disarm if a guy's trying to cut you, not massage you.
Okay. I don't have a funny retort for that.
I guess it's a different kind of, transfer of negative energy, but
yeah.
I think I'm going to dig up some ancient Chinese stuff on attaching the rock of shame. and then you have to walk and get the paddling of the bottom through the desert.
and then if you're lucky, you get to put on the rock of triumph.
Yes. The silver one, yes.
Woohoo! This is supposed to help with insomnia. Help with circulation and relieve sore muscles.
Chop me in the face to help me sleep better.
Yeah.
Dude, somebody should open that up right beside Chop. And call it Chop.
Block,
call it Block.
Chopped.
Yeah.
Chopped. There's a restaurant called Chop.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Open it right beside it.
Chopped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chopped.
They would resent that.
Chopping block. Call it Suey right beside.
Suey.
Suey.
Someone might think that you're dealing with pork. If you feed bacon to people while they're getting knife massages, maybe that would work.
What if you wrap them in a nice,
but then it's the bacon that's doing the job.
Basil bacon wrap. You have to tenderize them with the knives instead of a cloth.
Yes. So that's another way we could bilk people out of their money.
There's many ways, apparently.
We can...
A fool and his money are soon parted.
Hopefully.
And fools are apparently quite common.
They rush in.
Yeah, they just run right in. All you got to do is put up a sign.
That's right.
And put 50% off.
But you have to make sure it's connected to some ancient, forgotten knowledge.
So, I don't know. I feel like the claim that it's like ancient Chinese is just a claim that comes, like, people just make that claim.
Well, it doesn't matter. Even if it is ancient Chinese. Hey, this is stuff from when we didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
It's obviously going to work.
The thing that stuck out to me was that they have to make sure trainees have positive energy fields first so they can transfer energy to patients.
How do you do that?
I don't know.
Hey, I just watched Kung Fu Panda 3. If you just make that motion with your hand, glowy thing happen. Glowy things happen.
Glowy thing.
That's true.
Ah, glowy thing.
And you got to say, skadoosh.
Skadoosh.
Skadoosh. Yes, that helps.
No.
You're not supposed to. If you're a knife therapy master, you're forbidden to eat meat, and you're expected to believe in the Buddha. No atheist knife therapists allowed. See, that's where I want to be like, fuck you guys. I want to be the first atheist knife therapist.
And I'm carnivorous.
And I like bacon. Suck it. That's what I want to do. Oh yeah, you need to have balanced hands. You have
like
to
what?
be good
Have all
with
your
the blade.
fingers?
Yeah. Yep. You
This
first
one weighs
practice
a little
on
more
bedding.
than the other one. My left hand weighs a
It's
little
crazy,
more.
man. It's crazy.
It is.
Some people.
This one's really good
some
at balancing,
customers
but
even
this
fall
one's like-
asleep.
Yeah, it's all floppy.
Can you imagine falling asleep during a knife massage?
Yeah, the thing
Permanently.
No.
No.
No, I would never
the
fall
worst
asleep.
thing is,
they're hitting you in the
it may
face
work.
with knives.
It may work. It may work.
Your entire body.
It's just the psychological idea that it's...
Well, yeah, for
It's
somebody
a-
who buys into it, I'm sure it's...
If you don't like being touched
Fine.
by humans, let us touch you with knives. You'll get that same
Knives don't
physical
scare
touch.
people from kitchens.
Fair enough.
So it's a cook's massage.
Actually,
cook's
I'd be
massage?
more afraid of a massage from dull knives than sharp knives.
Interesting.
Hacking and hacking.
Serrated
Okay,
dull
yeah,
knives.
It just
We're gonna
takes
give you a
forever
massage,
to sever
but that's
that
a
limb.
serrated knife. That's a double-handled pizza knife.
Yeah.
rocker knife, yeah.
Right.
That's my story. I'm
Is Dave
sticking
out
to
for
it.
a smoke, or is he still in the...
He came back.
Okay, so let's go to religious nuttery then.
Cornerstone, this might be new to some of you. Scripture says that even our righteous deeds are as filthy rags to God. So even the good things that you do, even things like feeding the hungry and clothing the poor and taking in widows and orphans, as nice as those things are, if not done from the place of obedience to and a relationship with God, are completely worthless and disgusting to God. If you're not daily walking in a place of relationship to God, then the news that we have to bring you is that you're on your way to hell right now.
All right. What do you got for us, Gumby?
I'm on my way to hell right now
Yeah.
on the highway.
You're on the highway to
So
hell.
apparently the Bible will soon be a textbook in some Kentucky public schools.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Oh, goody.
The governor of Kentucky, Governor Matt Bevin, doesn't sound like a real person to me.
Sounds like a fake.
He signed into law a bill that would allow elective Bible courses in public schools. That's not a big deal because you can just have a Bible as literature, right? But if you want to teach it as American history, that's where things get a little shakier. And the funny thing is, one of the Republicans of the state representative said, quote, "It really did set the foundation that our founding fathers used to develop documents like the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. All of those came from principles from the Bible."
No.
Not true. No similarities at all. Anyway, pseudo-historian and not a doctor David Barton, I love that, not a doctor.
Not a doctor.
Might agree with that, but our founding documents are far less rooted in the Bible than right-wing politicians would have you believe, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
How's the Kentucky Board of Education going to ensure that the courses don't become devotional? That's probably the biggest question. Like,
A question they don't care about.
No. We want to make sure that teachers can teach and make sure that they don't go in to preach. That's somebody from the ACLU of Kentucky, I think.
Okay.
The Bible literacy bill that on its face may not appear to be unconstitutional can in fact become unconstitutional in its implementation. Right. Well, but you have places like Kentucky where, religion of freedom or freedom of religion. You have the freedom as long as you pick a religion and it's the right one. You're free to express that religion as long as you're religious and it's the same one.
It's the one that I have. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people might worry that the preaching is a thing that happens. Meanwhile, the government that instituted this class and rule doesn't give a shit.
Don't give a fuck. Oh, you guys want us to do this and you might reelect us? Done.
Mind you, it's Kentucky. Didn't they give millions of dollars to Ken Ham to build his boat in the middle of nowhere?
That's true. Yep, that's true.
See how that worked out.
Yeah, which is failing miserably.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody needs to make a meme. Like how there's
just do it.
Auto Trader.
Okay.
There's also a boat trader. And just put it in there. 10 grand OBO.
But do other places have Auto Trader? Where is
Canada?
That? Well, okay.
I'm pretty sure they have one. They have a version.
Yeah, they have
a version of Auto
States.
Trader everywhere.
Yeah.
Repo Depot.
The only people I know who read it are rednecks, really.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it'd be perfect. Do you know how many phone calls they would get? Hey, y'all still got that Ark for sale?
Check out that giant boat.
What's it got for a motor?
No prayer. Float.
But
maybe.
I mean, the thing is
if it ever touches water, we'll see.
This will be challenged so fast in that whole separation of church and state.
But not anymore.
It's passed into law.
You can still, once it's passed into law, it can still be challenged.
The problem is that I think that recently the Supreme Court has made some pretty poor decisions in the church-state separation area. So church and state separation, the First Amendment really doesn't mean as much as it once did.
Yeah. Don't touch the second one.
No, of course not.
And that's as far as Americans can count as 1 and 2. They don't know the rest of them.
Even though there's actually quite a few.
Mm-hmm. Like at least 5.
Yeah, for sure 5.
I'm pretty sure they want to totally forget about the 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and isn't there a 59th? I think there's a 59th. I think that's the one that says if the president is shown to be mentally unfit.
Mentally orange.
Mentally unfit. I could be wrong about that, though.
I don't think that was an amendment. I think that's actually just part of the Constitution.
I don't know.
At any rate, the Bible should not be taught in school. It should.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
No.
If it's taught in school,
because I mean, we just talked to a guy for an hour that was proving how it's not a historical document.
Yeah, that's right. You were going to say, Angela?
Just put it alongside the Quran or other religious texts. Let's compare them.
Right. Actually, I don't mind.
Let's critically think about there's nothing wrong with religious studies in high school. I mean, let's think critically about these things instead of this is your only option. Let's look at all of the options and say this is what this says, this is what this says, and compare it. And
would that be a funny day if they started looking into the books of Scientology?
Right? Be my favorite day at school.
No.
Dudism.
No.
Yeah.
No, you do not want to have to read Battlefield Earth.
No, that's true.
That's actually still one of my favorite books.
Really?
Yes.
It's one of the reasons I don't trust his judgment on literature.
Yeah, no shit.
Whoa.
Out of all my sci-fi books, have you guys read Battlefield Earth?
No.
I've read lots of it. Not the whole thing, though.
Yeah.
Because I got bored.
Yeah, no, I thought it was as much as I dislike Hubbard, I like that book.
Okay, if it's even remotely close,
not. It's nothing like the movie at all.
That's true.
The movie was brutal and terrible. The book is actually decently written.
I think I still have your copy, actually.
Probably.
Oh, so you read it too?
Well, not all of it.
Okay.
I like how you guys made fun of the book without having read it.
Because it's crap.
I'm sorry.
There's 27 amendments. The 27th was ratified in 1789.
Nice.
Re-ratified in 1992 after it was edited. It delays laws affecting congressional salary from taking effect until after the next election of representatives. So you can't give yourself a raise.
Which one's? Well, no. I mean, I'm not worried about it, I guess. Good fact checking.
25th is one you're thinking of.
Oh, 25th. Okay.
But you know, keep us on sort of track is like, yeah, Bible in schools, bad. But it's Kentucky. They don't know any better.
And they don't.
Creationism getting taught in science, bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More bad.
And they're
less
still,
good.
They're still pushing that shit.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish this off. We got no new listener feedback via email, but there are a number of ways to get in touch with us. Follow us on Facebook.
Please like us.
At facebook.com/brainstorm podcast.
Tell your friends.
Review us
We're
on
actually
iTunes.
910 likes on our Facebook page.
If we get to 1,000, Corey will give you a back rub.
With a knife.
Fair. That's fair. If you want it.
If you're within driving distance.
Yeah. I don't know if he's qualified, but
but I'll totally give you a knife.
He does have hands and knives.
Yeah, that's right.
But he did admit they're not balanced.
That's true. This one weighs more than
He
the
has
other.
some positive energy.
I would like to give certain people massages with knives, with throwing knives from a distance.
With the tip.
From a distance.
Kind of like giving someone a high five in the face.
With a chair.
Okay. Yeah, so follow us on Twitter at
Please.
BrainstormPod, please. Or you can join our cool Facebook or discussion group.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. We have people in it who
aren't
post
just
and
us.
discuss things.
Well, I think mostly it's just been posting goofy shit.
So
but-
far, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Which is fun.
good to
Or
keep abreast
email us at mail@brainstormblog.net. If you want to stay anonymous, then let me know in the email, or you can message me on Facebook. I almost never remember to read Facebook messages on the air, and I actually do get the odd one. But
don't forget to download our app.
Yes, that's right. Good call, Gumby. Download our app.
Do you even have that written there?
No, I don't. I never remember it. I have
There's
it
an
downloaded.
app?
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
a Brainstorm Podcast app.
Where the hell you been?
Clear. I know it.
We have no new
thought it was
patrons this
here.
break. But remember, starting in August, we will be charging every week for the episodes as they come out. So everyone will have access to the same episodes as they get now. But I'll be uploading the regular episodes each week to Patreon, and that's what patrons will get charged for.
Oh, I got to drop my
So if you're currently
Patreon
being
app.
charged twice a month, you'll probably be charged 4 or 5 times a month. Which means you can set up for lower level patrons that may not change anything, but for higher level patrons, you can go in and set your donation settings so that there's a monthly limit. We don't want to break anybody. We're just trying to milk a little bit more.
And lower level and higher level patrons, it's like Scientology. The more you spend, the more respected you are, and the further you will get.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Higher up the bridge.
That's
Higher
right.
up the bridge.
Yep.
We're only maybe 6 weeks away from our interview with our $10 patron.
Ooh.
He gets to come on the show. So,
Oh,
so
If I increase my
fancy
patronage,
Moses.
you can
I
be
leave
on
the show?
Yes.
Okay. So I can pay to not be here.
You can pay to not be here.
All of you listening can pay to not be here.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any
yeah.
amount you want to just not be here.
That is
Trust
generous.
me, that's better than being here.
Being a $10 patron lets you come on the show. Being a $20 patron lets you not be on the
Lets
show.
you avoid it. Our Patreon page is patreon.com/brainstormpodcast. We have a number of iTunes reviews this time that apparently have been there for a while because somehow they weren't showing up before.
In other words, Corey didn't check.
No, I checked every 2 weeks, I promise. From the Canadian store, we have a new review by user Krieger Sunbright, which I think they just did that so that it would be tough to pronounce.
That's awesome. That's a fantastic name.
5-star review. Was introduced to your show through a cross promotion on Life, the Universe, and Everything Else.
Awesome.
The Manitoba Show. And have been enjoying the last few episodes. I'd love hearing skeptical voices coming out of the Western Canadian provinces. Keep it up. Thanks very much for the review.
Yes, thank you.
We missed a couple from the U.S. store. One from back in February from TDTF Pod, where he gave us 5 stars and said, I look forward to hearing more of this in the future. And we will be having him on October 13th.
Oh.
That's Jonathan.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that, or check out his podcast. It's a lot of fun. It's short episodes that are really like thoughtful. He does like 7-minute podcasts.
TDTF.
That's cool.
And another one from Sharon F. back in May, where she gave us 5 stars and said, Sharon here from the Habeas Humor podcast. I just listened to the Pregnancy Woo episode and enjoyed it. I look forward to hearing more.
Which one was that?
We had
Karen.
Amy Tutor.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that one. Yeah. That was a good show.
That was good. I enjoyed that one.
So check out Habeas Humor. Well, I'll reach out to Sharon and get a promo so we can play that during our breaks.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for the great reviews and ratings. Sorry I didn't see them sooner. Looks like the podcast Connect on the web browser doesn't seem to show everything. So, or maybe they just don't pop up right away. I don't know. Remember, if you give us a rating and write a review, then it really helps out the show, and we'll read it on the air. Just remember to shoot us an email at mail@brainstormblog.net to let us know which store to look in. Plug your stuff. Anybody got a stuff?
Stuffless.
Stuffless?
I'm stuffless.
I never do stuff.
You don't do stuff. Well, I'm still working on the next episode of the Hardcore Skeptic Examines. I have 3 that I'm working on, but one of them I have to wait for responses from the interviewee. One of them I have to wait for it to be approved by the interviewee. And the third one is just something I have to get finished.
Are we caught up on bonus content?
We are not.
Okay.
But I do have a new YouTube video out.
Sweet.
Called There Is No Authoritarian Left. And you can find that on my personal YouTube account, which is just under my name, Corey Johnson. I think that's everything. Let's hit that outro music. You can check out the show notes at thebrainstormpodcast.com and our website, brainstormblog.net, eventually. Thanks to our financial supporters, Will, Lisa, Rob, Aaron, Nathan, Daryl, Marissa, Stephanie, Positively Skeptical, Michael, and Lachlan. You can join us live every second week when we broadcast live on Spreaker. You can find us at Spreaker.com/user/brainstormpodcast. Our next guest is Gleb Sapersky, founder of the Pro-Truth Movement.
That's going to be a fun interview.
That should be interesting. I've heard him on a few other shows.
Oh, yeah, and I've chatted with him a few times. He's got a wicked sense of humor.
Yeah, good. Thanks to David Madison for joining us. You can find his book on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the show notes. And I think he mentioned his website was 10toughtruths.com or something?
Yeah, either TEN or the number 10.
Perfect. Thank you, Will D., for committing your time to working on the show notes.
Sweet.
Thanks to Dave for our intro music. Thanks to Alex Capper-Murdoch for doing the voiceover for the intro and for some of our ads. And thanks to Jason Camo for our outro music. You can find his stuff at aloststateofmind.com. All music played is with permission or under the SOCAN license to play. For more information on SOCAN, you can check out our music license info page on our website, brainstormblog.net. I think that's everything. So give us a rating, give us a thumbs up, or give us a fave on your podcatcher of choice. Share the show with your friends and spread the word. Thanks.
Free knife massage.
Yeah, that's right. Free knife massage. Thanks for listening. And remember, the truth matters.
This is an opinion-based podcast. Each person on the podcast is responsible for their own opinions, and those opinions don't necessarily reflect the views of the rest of the panel. Any guests or anyone associated with the people on the podcast, such as spouses, partners, children, other family members, friends, or employers. No one person speaks for the podcast with the possible exception of Corey, and he doesn't speak for anyone else on the show. The Brainstorm podcast does not represent the views of our sponsors.
We just wanted to say thanks to everyone who listens to us, shares the show, gives us a rating on iTunes or Stitcher, or supports us through Patreon and Gumroad. We don't have a lot of interaction sometimes with our listeners, but what we have had proves that we attract some of the best people around. Smart, kind, and cool. An audience truly worthy of the titles hardcore and woo-free. Thanks for helping us make the world a smarter place.